the balance return for a new season of meaningful conversation. Taking a close look at the development arena. First angle of introducing 3 new segments. Join the first segment, Chat On, and whenever the chat is on, please grab the opportunity. Join our second segment, Breaking the Glass. Finding out great people that have achieved great things, and we will find out how they break the glass. Of course, our final segment, Walk the Talk. Let's put the talk to actions. That's what it means, where we will find out so many special things that have been put on social medias, that have been put into talks, but we will find out exactly where the works face. Walk the talk. The Balance Show is back again with exciting interface only on GRTS TV.
Hello everyone, this is the Walk the Talk. We are back here again, myself and Baba Sise, and today we have an interesting program for you because we will be having the GYP, the Global Youth Parliament, and they will be turning this place into a real parliament because they have something very interesting to debate about today. We can remember the last time they had a clash of culture.
Masiri isa jey faatu penda ma ñaay sama mama waxoon ne duma dem siin duma dem Saalum ba ko lu bu ne ma ñëf ca bal
te may dëgg
buur siine sama mama àndoon ak ma ba joxu
waaw Diouf
ànd ak gumba gay ngeen sanjal
te may dëgg
ànd ak sëriñ bakala bu sa ciendu ba fende mi des manding ba di bakar fatim ngay des lu men nderi jeje bu des da salame mbay hatta kala des jàmbur hatta ma di ko ma nek borom xeex bu jak bi ci waraar jugaare jëm jëm ci kay sama fan yaay jëm jëm gi liggéey
Code.
Ampaya sama, awak yang itu sudah berkata fikir yang bahasa lain fikir, ampaya sama.
We saw so many beautiful cultures, from the Ajamatao to the Manding culture to the Jollof culture, from Banjul, West Coast and Kanifing respectively. And today we'll be having their Linger, who goes by the name Miss Mary K. Baji, and we'll also be having Umar K. Manjang, who is the Mansa of the Manding from West Coast. We'll be having the Kanda of Ajamatao from Banjul, that is Babu Isar. So we'll be having the 3 of them. They'll be having a wonderful debate today here. Baba Sise, may I leave you with them?
Exactly. Thank you very much, Alassane. Like you said, of course, viewers, wherever you are, once again, of course, welcome to this program. But first, I want to thank the Global Youth Parliament for coming up with such an initiative, especially their regional coordinators. I want to thank Kemo, Seinabu, and of course Mariam, whom today they are represented, and we have Omar A. Manjang, who is the Honorable Omar A. Manjang, who is a king today, and he's called the Giant Elephants of West Coast. And we have Babu Isar, who is the Fearless Tigers. Of course, you can see his face. He's not having that fear. We also have the Great Lions. Lions are always great. And the Great Lions, Mari K. Baji from, of course, KMC. This debate is going to be hot. Of course, those people you see behind them, they are their guards. Of course, normally when kings move, they move with their guards. And that is it. That's why you see them behind with their frown in their faces so that nobody touches their kings or queen. So on that note, we are just going to move to the debate. And then, like I said, first we will allow the kings to introduce themselves from the introductions. Of course, the questions will follow. And this debate is specifically going to be based on environment. You all know littering is our major problem. Littering is a major problem in this country. And we, as GYP, Global Youth Parliament, we want to put a stop. We want to make sure that we have a very clean nation. That is a good start. Of course, if you are out there and you are an institution, of course, responsible for that, all you need is to collaborate with them. These youths are willing to voluntarily contribute to make their regions great. Of course, like I said, once again, this debate is going to be very hot today, and you will definitely enjoy it. Now, let's move to the first king, West Coast.
A wealthy nation is a healthy nation. And today we represent that agent to make that things very possible. And to start with, my name is Omar A. Manja. I am born and brought up in the coastal village of Gunjur, Kombo South. And here seated as Crown King of West Coast region, the Giant Elephant, having a debate with my co-contestants here. So this is basically, that is Omar Manja. And then when we go through, you get to see our environmental policies, which are not only nice and good look, but also things that are achievable. So this is short about Omar Manja.
My name is Honorable Babu Isar, representing the Fearless Tigers of Banjul. I will not talk much because we have a long journey to talk. But here is where I'm going to stop. The name is Babu Isar, the Fearless Tigers. We thank you all.
Mary K. Baji, the Queen of Jollof, representing KM and also standing for the Great Lions. We all know that cleanliness is next to godliness. And Gambia is a very religious country. And this is why we want to ensure with our policies to keep the country clean, to make sure we live in a healthy environment. Thank you.
So let's start with Mary K. Baji. Mary K. Baji, what plans and procedures do you guys have in order to make that your red zone the cleanest area and the most beautiful area?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. This is a very important question and a very powerful question, I would say, because the way forward is what we need right now as Gambia is concerned. We all know how unhealthy our environment is. There are so many places that even when you're walking, the scent that will pass you by is unbearable. And this is why KM came up with these ideas to make sure the people who are responsible for this, that is us, the habitants, we that are living in the environment, take care of our own environment. What I mean by this is we need to go back to ourselves, be honest to ourselves and tell ourselves the truth. We are the ones littering the country, and we are the ones who take care of our littering. What we're planning on doing is reaching out to the people. We want to make sure we reach out to all the people living around our red zones and everyone that is doing a business or staying around our red zones to make sure we talk to you and make you understand the importance of taking care of your waste and not allowing it to affect others. If we all come together, join hands together and take care of our waste, we are going to be waste free and our country will be healthier and cleaner. Thank you.
We don't want the competition only to be based on who is going to win. We want to create impact as Banjulians. So that is why we don't check for places that are already clean or industrial places that are clean every day by individuals who are already paid for that. We look for a place that is the garage itself, that attracts a lot of people. So our strategic plan is basically we are going to work closely with the government, and then BCC is ready to help. So there are 7,000 dustbins that are already been distributed for the second time. So basically, there are 25 dustbins which are already catered for Banjul. That is GYP chapter Banjul. And these 25 dustbins are going to be basically placed around the red zone. And then Banjul, we don't want it only to be limited around the red zone. We want it to go further. Because if we will be having weekly sensitization, that is on environmental, the importance of environment. And that is basically laying an impact for us to achieve our goals. But basically, we believe that when we all come together as Banjulians, and then the team behind me, we believe we have the power, we have the courtesy, and then we can do it. So, but what we need is right now, the young people are ready, but we need the commitment of Banjulians, and then we need the commitments of Gambians. Let them come together and support the initiative and recognize and understand that the reason why we are coming up with this activity is basically to be one of the cleanest nations, not only in Africa, but the world at large. But for us to achieve that, each and every one, your contribution matters, each and every one, your support matters, and each and every one, your action is highly needed. So this is what we have for now.
Thank you.
West Coast, the giant elephant. We know environmental problems are cross-cutting issues, and they cannot be tackled in isolation. The plans that we put in place, first, we consulted our regional stakeholders, and already now discussions are already at high gear, and they already registered their support. And again, we already identify the red zones, and which is from Jaawel towards the Jaliba Johnson. And then the members, we have committed militants who took upon themselves to sensitize people. And still now, our flyers and other informative materials are still there. So coming to the sensitization part of it, because we believe that this cannot be achieved without putting people into consideration. So we have to think globally and act locally. So in this case, we engage the people of Brikama and any other person who uses that road. So therefore, we have these plans ahead of us. That is member caring FM. We will have weekly talk shows there. And then luckily too, we also have some parliamentary members who are also working at DHK. Already a time is secure for that, where we'll have weekly talk shows to sensitize people about the importance of this red zone and the plan to replicate it all over the West Coast region. We learned that Rwanda and South African and other African cities, they have very beautiful cities, but these things were not achieved in isolation, because people were sensitized till we find out the value. This is what is this, and that's the reason people comfort themselves. And today we have those things as very important communities. And coming down to the area of tree planting, we know that environment is bigger than waste management. We have to think outside the box. If we manage our waste, what of the carbon emissions, and which we believe is very important, we have to put our hands together so that we can do something about that. So these are some of the plans. I believe when we go further, we will hear more from me.
Had their plans. Why do you think your plan is more important than their plans?
The reason why we got them involved and what will make it happen better than theirs is because it's the people themselves that throw that waste there. So if we are able to have that cordial relationship with the people to make sure they control their waste, there will be no more waste. Because if I am supposed to be throwing it where I'm passing, and that's the red zone, and I am aware that I suppose not to litter that place because it's a red zone, then it means no one will litter there. And everyone that is involved with everything that has to do around our red zone, we will reach out to everyone. We will make sure they are well sensitized on what we want to do and how we want to keep that place clean. And that will make them be aware with our signboards, of course, and our flags that are hanging around from end to end of our red zones. They will see the signboards and remember that, oh, these people once approached me and they told me that this place is supposed not to be littered. So that red flag is there to remind them that this is a low littering place. And remembering that they will get used to the fact that we are responsible for this way. So if we keep it away from this place will be kept clean.
Looking at the current point of view, to my left and then to my right, I have acknowledged and understand that none of them have discussed the reason why people are littering. And one of the reasons why people leave that is basically there is the lack or inadequate bean. That is one. Two, again, there is no awareness, lack of awareness. And then finally, we don't have money, we don't have funds to implement projects. But I'm telling you this for free. Anyone who knows Banjul, you will recognize and understand that with the aid of Rahim Malik Law, things are already concluded. We have 7,000 beans that we have already distributed for the second time. 7,000 for the second time. We have coconut plantations around the beach. 5,000 coconut plantations. We are not talking this action. We are beautifying Banjul generally. The streets of Banjul are all clean. And then the project has not yet started. We are starting on the 4th. And then if you go to Banjul, it's already clean. So I am telling you this for free. That it's not about the talking. It's about the doing. It's the action that we take as young people. And the action have already been taken by Banjulians. If you're happy with what I say, please clap for me, please. The action have already been taken. 7,000 beans. 25 have already been allocated for GYP members. We are not only stopping for the red zone. Even Baba, if you want, ask us to place our red zone at the bridge. And then I will tell you this for free. With the aid of the mayors of Banjul, not only stopping from him, the stakeholders, the young people, the councillors in Banjul, they can man Banjul from the bridge to the. Even if you want, we can pass bar and then give them. Yeah. So basically, to conclude everything, I am telling you this for free. We are here to win. You support us. We are here to win. You don't support us, we are here to win. But we need all of your support so that we can make Gambia the most clean environment, not only in Africa, but the world at large.
Our plans, we have what you call Wester Wealth. Wester Wealth is a simple technique and which doesn't need anybody like who attained PhD or not. It's just a simple technique. How do we transform this waste into wealth? Currently, we already engage some of these processing companies. One is that of the how will you call this one? Waste management, where we will have the composition of degradable materials. Instead of the government spending huge amount of importation of chemical fertilizer, we want to think outside the box. What can we do in order to compose these kind of materials that we litter our societies, then we can use them into agricultural practices? Already we have that in place. And as I'm speaking to you, we even represent these cultural norms, and where we even trying to use these 3 R. The 3 R, that is reduce, reuse, and recycle. And I will take example of myself. These clothes that I'm wearing is even more than me, is even older than me. But looking at it, I have reduced it, okay? Because if you are a leader, you have to take responsibility and you have to lead. This is reuse. And again, this can also be used in order to compose it to the carbon, because this is rich in carbon. So therefore, we are with these plans where we will work with the farmers, where we can try and limit the importation of these kind of chemical fertilizers. We make the best use of the local materials that we have. I will quote from Professor Lumumba. He said, African problems need African solutions. So taking of dustbins and things like coming from Europe and stuff like, why don't we take our own problems and we also think outside the box in order to make it as an opportunity. So to conclude it, we the GIP West Coast, we are entrepreneurs. We develop problems into opportunities. Thank you.
I rightly mentioned that we sensitize the people that are around our red zones, and he spoke about lack of awareness. So I don't know what is his understanding of sensitization. Well, the people are sensitized and they are aware. That's what I meant, my king. And coming to the issue of lack of bean that he mentioned, maybe in Banjul they don't have enough beans, but in KM, every corner of KM that you turn has bean. And our mayor have been supplying beans, and we are thinking of ways to also deal with the waste that are collected from those beans. We have seen the KM trucks all over going around daily, 24 hours. They are collecting waste from homes, from streets, from the dustbins that are around the way. So I really don't understand it when he said there are lack of bins, that's why people are littering. Maybe in Banjul they don't have bins, that's why Banjulians are littering. But in KM, we do have bins, and this is why our waste collecting is very proper. Now, coming to your question, I think the Banjulians lack something that the rest of the other regions have, and this is their problem, I think. I'm not in support of West Coast, neither in support of Banjul, but what I'm saying, from a perspective of KM, we don't lack bins, and we don't lack proper sensitization or awareness, because working together with the respective stakeholders that are responsible for waste management, starting with the Kanifing Municipal Council, we are working daily to making sure that our environment is clean entirely, not just our red zones. And that has been happening even before the initiative of the red zones started.
The red zone is around the traffic lights. Yes. I think I am right. Towards Gampos. It's a private sector. We have companies down there. Those companies employ people to clean their environment. We go to West Coast. It's around Jaliba Johnson to Jawel. Basically the same thing. But for them, it's somehow better. But you come to Banjul, all of you will understand that when we say garbage, and then they believe that they are kings and they are queens, let them remove their red zone from the area that they make, from that area, that industrial area. Let them take it to the garages. They have garages, let them take it there. When we take it to the garages, we will acknowledge and understand. My lady, I like the connection that we are having. Huh? You will understand this is for free. That you will understand that it's not only going to stop at KMC. But when we say garage, every individual, all the regions, starting from Banjul to URR, everybody will pass through that garage. And when they see this red zone, and then strictly measures, when they go out to their region, they are going to send it there. Before the competition arrives there, that place is already clean. That is why I said Banjul. It's not about the competition. Banjul have already started this long time ago. And then this is just coming in order to support. That is why I'm telling you, we have 7,000 bins. 7,000 bins. We have 7,000 bins. I'm not saying $7 bins there. 7,000 bins. So we can even donate some to KMC. And then to add on for free. To add on. The people who collect our bins, collect it for free. I am saying this again there, for free. KMC, are they paying or not? Yes. Are they paying or not? Yes. Fine, let's have this connection, please. I thank you all.
We also have the capability to go in for the bins. But as I say, we want to use our problems to solve our own, to be our own solutions. Do you agree with both of them? No, in a sense that they are talking of bins. In fact, let's look at the composition of these bins. These bins are made out of PET, and in fact, this composition during the formation, you realize that these things, they emit a lot of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And in turn, that is the reason we are look at how we are facing this erratic rain season. So therefore, we are thinking of in this way, why not we reuse? Instead of bringing more of these things, we reuse these things. And if possible, we also recycle. Okay, I want to have this collaboration. Since Banjul did not have a label runs, and coming down to Her Majesty, you too did not have a label runs. And as Saudada Karaba said, ni mola ila mbuntungo bakoma, ila buntunga bo banku bondala bankolto, isa alonko ila mansaya kamo nafatara. So therefore we feed you people. So therefore we want to have this collaboration. Why not those waste that can be recycled, that contains some amount of nitrogen, instead of the government will import external fertilizers. These things are very important. Banana peel alone contains these three things: phosphorus, calcium, and that of nitrogen. Why should you be trained and thinking of things like bin? Think outside the box. What can we use this thing in order to solve our problem? Kings, you have to think wide.
Said they did not reply. So very importantly, I just want to ask you, he made a point like instead of using these beans that are very expensive, why not use a recycled bin? I want us to come to that point. Do you agree with him, or do you think it's a great idea or not?
Well, before answering your question, Baba, as usual, I don't think we are here for filibustering or bluffing on what we have without being put into action. I mentioned it, I'm not sure if they're hearing me out loud, but I said KMC have been keeping KM clean even before the initiative will come about the red zones and others. And he's talking about beans that they have. I don't know where they're going to put all those beans. We are trying to get rid of plastic and other stuffs, and I'm sure their beans are made of plastic, which we are trying to get rid of as far as KM is concerned. We are working on something, and he said our red zones are not well allocated. Walk around Kairaba Avenue. Those companies you're talking about will not hire them to clean the streets. They will hire them to clean their companies, Mr. Man. And also, walk around from Serekunda, going all the way to SOS and along all that highway. You've seen how we've dealt with the massive dumping side of the backwater dumping side. We are actually having initiatives that Gambians will be shocked with. We are dealing with that waste in a very professional way, in a way that we will not give back toxic to the people. He's talking about recycling. What are going to be the effects of those recycling processes that they will go through? What will be the impact on our health and our living conditions? Have they considered that? I'm not sure. Well, we are doing proper research and doing it the right way so that tomorrow we will not be ruining the people instead of fixing their problems. And that is for you guys to take note on. And coming back to your question, we are not entertaining beans that will cause more harm than good. It's not about providing beans only. Beans can be there and people choose to throw it elsewhere. We have seen other issues like that. So this is why we are thinking of a way to get the people involved. And he said people are being paid and they're doing it for free. We are not paying our people because we cannot pay them for taking care of our waste. But we are motivating them. We are keeping them on action. This is a way of saying thank you, we appreciate your effort, but we are not paying them, to answer his question. Thank you.
First of all, my question is not the people who are doing the work, but when they are collecting it, each of the house, you have to pay before they collect your bin. So if you are poor like me, then that means basically they cannot collect your bin. That is what I'm trying to explain. I don't say for the people who are the people who are working, they have to pay them. This is not about thank you, this is your work. They have to pay them for that work.
As far as KM is concerned, we are speaking from experience and we are giving you what we have on the ground. We are not reading out papers for you. This is why we believe we are far ahead of them and we are winning this time. Thank you.
I see, basically they are worried about the paper that I am holding. They are very, very, very worried about this paper that I am holding. I don't know why, but they are worried.
Open it.
So let me just put it here.
Open it.
And then we continue. Yes, hold it.
If you are listening very well, we were saying things like waste for wealth. This is a collective problem. So therefore, we want to use this opportunity. As I said, we are an entrepreneur. We want to turn problems into opportunities.
We wrote letter to the Minister of Environment. The response was not positive. They are the one responsible for environment. Youths are willing and ready to clean this environment, and we wrote to them, the response is not positive. The balance returned for a new season of meaningful conversation. Taking a close look at the development arena. First angle of introducing 3 new segments. Join the first segment, Chat On. And whenever the chat is on, please grab the opportunity. Join our second segment, Breaking the Glass. Finding out great people that have achieved great things. And we will find out how they break the glass. Of course, our final segment, Walk the Talk. Let's put the talk to actions. That's what it means. Where we will find out so many special things that have been put on social medias, that have been put into talks, but we will find out exactly where the works face. Walk the Talk. The Balance Show is back again. with exciting interface only on GRTS TV.